Hi, everybody. Getting ready to go do a gig in Illinois that I've spent more time planning than I have any other gig I have ever done. In fact, I just got a last minute timeline change via text about a half an hour ago. So, welcome to Illinois. And of course, there's road construction, which is never a good thing on the tollway. By the way, it looks like I'm going to be hitting the toll booth between 220 and 225. Note to self, I don't know how Illinois toll roads work, but it's all coinless now and you got to do it online. So there's a note for me. See that traffic on the other side of the road? This is why we leave early, because you never know down here. All right, second toll was $2.38. Now we can just go to the gig. Okay, here's our venue. I'm here 12 minutes before I can actually get in the doors. You can see somebody's ahead of me. That's fine. I've got plenty of time, like hours literally. This is a unique venue. You'll see that a little later on. So I'm going to try to give you some explanation over the Backstreet Boys. I have an AV Tech tonight. Those are the speakers that are house speakers that I must use. They have their own lighting system. I'm bringing my table in and a rack and my laptop, and that's it. So I brought all this stuff just in case, but don't need it because it's all in there. Lights, speakers, extra cabling. Should be a pretty simple load in. I'm trying to shift the cart so it balances going up the ramp. So before we go back in and set up, I'm not probably going to be able to talk much more because of music and, YouTube being stupid about that. But part of what you're going to see tonight is the halls thing. The client books this hall and is sold what you're going to see towards the beginning of this video. The dancing part, that's me. But everything before that, I have to coordinate with the hall on this because it's a little different, just so you know. Obviously, with the sound and lighting provided, that's a new thing for me. It's a leap of faith, but everybody's really nice. The hall's nice, the clients are nice. Should go well, but just keep that in mind watching this video. This is not me. This is the hall, and I'm working with them on it. This is a big production. No, you're fine. These are all super, super cool people. Everybody involved. The hall, the client, all the guests. But it's probably the biggest production I've ever done, just with details and plans. There's a huge staff here taking care of a lot of different things. There's video, there's photographers, there's catering, you have that at every event, but this is like hardcore. But we got it. We got this. After pictures, guests started to arrive around 5:15, and the ceremony was pretty straightforward. There was a lot of songs and a lot of cues, but I've done stuff like that before. Not a big deal. As soon as ceremony was over, everybody went upstairs for cocktails. There's a loft area upstairs, and they flipped the room. They had everything ready behind those lower shutter doors. Speaking of shutters, notice the steel shutters up top. Here was this big grand reveal. The first dance happened down below. They gathered everybody in front of the shutters and raised the shutters for the first dance. I didn't get video of that because I have one hand, but that's what happened, and that's the halls thing. That's what they provide, and that's the service the client buys into when they go with this hall. Dinner went fine. There were a lot of speeches before dinner, about a half hour's worth. That's what the client wanted. I typically don't like to do that, but that's what they wanted to do, so that's what we did, and it worked out just fine. As soon as the speeches were over, the entrees were served, and then after food, they jumped into the parent dances. There were 2 parent dances. Then I did an open dancing for everybody with a slow song, and after that, we went into party mode. So yeah, this was a big leap of faith at this event. Just using somebody else's sound and somebody else's lights. There was a guy there named Jay. He was the AV Tech. He was there all night. He was running the lights to my music. He was running cold spark machines, which I didn't get any video of because they happened whenever they happened. But I think it was a pretty good party. And people danced until the very end. It was one of the toughest events I've ever done in the planning process. But it's all in the planning. Once you do all your due diligence with that, everything else goes relatively smooth, and this one did. Although there were a lot of details, it actually went fine. I do feel like fun was had by all, though. It was a pretty good party, and I am glad that everything went well. I'm also very glad it was over. I will say that everybody involved was cool. The client was cool. The guests were cool. Everybody at the hall was very nice, very professional. Even catering was fantastic. Really couldn't ask for a better group to work with, especially if I'm taking that leap of faith where I'm using somebody else's sound system and somebody else's lights. I had no control over it. I'm a little deaf today because there were monitors right behind me. I don't know what they were. They might have been Mackie, but that was a horn that was in my ear all night. So my ears are ringing a little bit today. It's not the system I'm used to using, but it worked. And I know what to do next time I go down there. So that's the gig log from Saturday. I've got a big one coming up next Saturday too. But the planning process is not nearly this detailed. I pretty much got it sorted out. I just have to grab some music for it. A lot of gear. A lot more gear than this one. But the planning process is just not as detailed. As soon as that's over, I got to jump on my next one and get that planned. I've got 2 more back to back after this week that I've got to worry about. So that's it, guys. Couldn't shoot the gig log last night because I was just completely destroyed. I was so tired. So doing it today. I'm recovering today and tomorrow at least until I have to get ready for all my events next week starting Wednesday. So thanks so much for watching. I appreciate you so much. We'll see you next time. Practice and enjoy.